Hi, my name's Jeff Trout. I'm with Coastal Community Church, and we recently had a meeting for people that are greeters and ushers, welcome table people, and coffee cart people in our church that are currently just faithfully serving in those capacities. And this information and this vision is so important that I wanted to share it with you now through this YouTube video so that you could be a part of it if you weren't able to attend with us. From now on, this group of people, greeters, ushers, host team, welcome table, coffee cart, we're going to be just called one big team called the host team. And the reason that is because the idea of hosting is so critical to what we're doing at Coastal. The definition of host is one who receives or entertains guests. And so the people that enter our doors at Coastal Community Church are our guests, and they should be treated with the respect and with warmth and with the hospitality that we need to give them. We would never have people over to our house and just have them come to our door. We'd hand them something and then just let them enter and do whatever they want. No, we want to greet them personally and welcome them in a warm way. The host team is so important because it's really our first touch. It's kind of that first impression that we make on people as they're entering our doors. And it's the front line of what we're doing at Coastal Community Church. So the importance of this first impression team of the host team is absolutely critical. It's of the highest importance. So what is the overall vision of Coastal Community Church? Well, it's connect, grow, and serve. And the host team is really the first point of this connect leg of our vision. And we really want people to connect to others and connect to God. But as they enter someplace like a church, if they're not connecting to others, then we feel like it's going to lose its effectiveness in possibly being able to connect to God. People are dying to belong somewhere, and often when the bottom falls out of life, they look to church and say, well, what is there at church that's going to help me? And so they really want to fit in and be accepted somewhere. Romans 15:7 says this. It says, accept one another then just as Christ accepted you in order to bring praise to God. If people don't connect to others, then it's really less likely that they're going to connect to God, at least in the area of being in a church. Now, God will do what He's going to do, and He can draw people to Himself. But our job is just to present the best and the warmest place that we can, so that they can be able to connect to God. If you don't hear anything else during this time of listening, this is the most important thing. Our purpose as a host team and on Sunday mornings is to make Coastal Community Church the most comfortable, the most safe, and the most welcoming environment to hear the most dangerous, the most radical, the most life-transforming message of Jesus Christ. That's why it's so important of what we do as a first impression in greeting people. We want to make it comfortable and safe so that people will want to come to Coastal Community Church. Now, speaking of places that we want to go to, where do we do business? Where do we want to go to get a cup of coffee, to get our groceries, to get our gas? We go to places that have either the product or they deliver it the product we want, or deliver it in a way that we desire. So it may be price may be really important, the quality of the product may be really important, or the service, the relationships might be great. And that's why we go to those places. Well, what product do we have to offer here at Coastal Community Church? That's a little bit of a setup question. The answer to that is not Jesus. Jesus is not a product. He's a relationship. But the product is love. And Jesus says in John 13:34 and 35, He says, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, all men will know that you're my disciples, if you love one another. So that's the product that we have to offer. Our culture really sees things in a consumeristic idea and in a product-related type of idea. Our product is love, and we've got to deliver it, give the best customer service that we possibly can. I just want to point out one study in a magazine called Outreach Magazine, and this is a mystery visitor an unbeliever who reported on a visit to a church, and one of the categories is what were your first impressions of the church, and they said, I wasn't sure where to go. Small groups of people stood around the lobby talking with each other. No one said anything to me. or even smiled. Another category was, did you connect with anyone at the church? And they said there was no greeting time at all, except for one person who came up to the service, or who came up to me before the service and introduced himself. I would have left without speaking to anyone, since there is no formal or informal mechanism to greet or acknowledge visitors. And then, would you visit again? And they said they would not return to that church. That's the most important thing, is if they don't feel like there's a place they can belong, then they're not going to be there to hear the great news of Jesus Christ. And that's the job of this host team, is to welcome and make people, help people feel comfortable. Now, this is not a business, but what I do want is, we want people to come to Coastal, maybe even mystery visitors like this, and leave being a raving fan of Coastal Community Church because they felt welcome. So I'd like everybody on the host team to read this book by Ken Blanchard. It's called Raving Fans. I have some for people to check out. It's very short and easy to read, and so please, I would like for you to do that. But this is a business book, but Ken Blanchard is a Christian businessman, so his principles are very Christ-like. And on page 122, he says this, it's really Christ-like. He says, it's not really customers and company, it's not even customers and employees, it's just people and people. People arrive with needs, and people go out and serve them to fulfill those needs. So it's about people. That's what Jesus was about too. So in regards to that, I want to be clear that this is not just signing up to fill a slot or to serve in just a way. This is a ministry, and we need people to serve other people in this way of hosting. So here are some requirements that we're going to ask of you as being part of this host team. The most important requirement is, we need each of us to be pursuing Jesus as a disciple, as a follower of His. And to do that, we have to stay attached to the vine to bear the fruit of love and accepting. In John, the book of John, Jesus says, I am the vine, you are the branches, and if a man remains in me and I in him, he'll bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. Apart from Jesus, even if it's just about helping people feel welcome and warm and accepted, we can't do anything without Jesus. So that's the most important. Okay, the people that are on this team, we need these people to be a people person. So we know God gives everybody different gifts, but we need you to be a people person. We need you to be committed to doing this. We need you to be consistent with when you're going to be there. We need the people on this host team to be observant of their surroundings. So if they have kids, we want to be able to point people to where the children's ministry is. If they're visibly upset, we want you to be able to say, hey, would you like somebody to pray with you? Or can I help you with something? If they just need a place to sit, we want you to be observant enough to welcome them in. Most importantly, another important thing is, we need you to smile. Smile changes your tone of voice. It makes you more approachable. When we're on duty with these teams, we need to set aside our conversations with our friends for the sake of greeting everyone, because there's nothing worse than walking into a place and people that are supposed to be greeting are in their own little group talking with a bunch of their friends. We need you to be able to introduce yourself and use people's names. Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, or I don't know if we've met, that type of thing. We need you to be able to log into My Coastal, previously called Coastal Core. That's going to be our main streamlined way to communicate with everybody. And so we need you to start using that. And then finally, if you're serving in any capacity, just making coffee in the morning, if you're at the ushers, the greeters, whatever, if you're doing setup and tear down, we consider you a leader because you're serving and investing in Coastal Community Church. And we want you to come to Leadership Community on January 16th. It's from about 9 to 12, and more information will be coming out. Finally, the last few things, we're going to need 8 teams. So going to 2 services and 4 Sundays a month. So we're going to need 8 teams, 12 to 14 people a team. The shift goes from 15 minutes before to 15 minutes after the service starts, and then we'll need some people to be doing their jobs a little bit before, at the end of the service, to saying thanks for being here as people are leaving. I'll need some leaders, and leaders, I'll be glad if you're interested in that. I need a couple more. But you've got to be able to contact your team. We need you to pray with your team before it starts, because this is a ministry. And we need you to assign people with their positions and things. So if you're interested in any of this, please contact me at jeff@gocoastal.org, or give us a call at the office. 867-5683. And again, really, this is about, like Jesus said in Mark 10:45, this is about, for even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. We want to serve those who walk in the doors of Coastal so they can hear the great news of Jesus Christ.